Hello, community. Richie Believe back in effect for you and you only. Let's take one time to take one deep breath. Thank you, God. Okay, so right now we're gonna talk about I ain't gonna say because this guy hits me by somebody from my past, not my past, I don't know why I said that, but an old friend, an old high school friend. And I just saw it on social media somewhere, and it struck me, and I commented on the post, but now I want to speak on it. He put, "Why am I being tested so much?" And it hit right there and there, because I knew this guy to be a very outgoing, super funny, super energetic, enthusiastic guy when I knew him, when I was like around him more often. And I could look, once I saw that post, I went on his page, and I saw more things. And I was like, okay, he has been in a transitional period, you know what I'm saying? And I have myself have been through a huge transitional period over the last 3 years. So like, I felt the need to speak on it, and I was commenting on what I put under the post when it said, "Why am I being tested so much?" And I put it in there. I'm gonna do my best to remember the exact quote, but I might have to, finesse it a little bit. But I put, "Tests are for students. It sounds like you about to graduate. Pass every test until the test feel normal. And then when you go forward and look back and connect the dots, you'll understand your journey, and that's always beautiful. God bless." Connecting the dots. That's what I want to put on. Why are you being tested so much? Have you connected any dots? Or are you just focusing on, dang, I'm getting tested again. Dang, I'm getting tested again. Fuck, I'm getting tested again. Shit, I'm getting tested again. Excuse the curse words. You know what I'm saying? But, some people need to hear it that way. You feel what I'm saying? But connect the dots. See, that's the biggest thing about it. You know what I'm saying? When I said that, I was like, okay, what was the most pivotal thing I said in there? One, tests are for students. I didn't even know where that came from. But connecting the dots are truly how I got to where I am. I was a completely different guy before I got here. Completely. I had to go through a whole transitional stage. It took about 10 years. And hopefully I can speed your process up from what I've gone through already, because I have the game and everything of that nature. I done went through it already. I done walked through the fire for y'all already. Not saying that I'm just some monolithic person. I'm not trying to be arrogant at all. I'm just saying, like, that's my story. So I want to speak on connecting the dots and why you're being tested so much. So why you're being tested so much is because you are about to graduate, like I said in that thing. Your tests are for students. You're about to graduate, but the tests have to seem normal. You're going to consistently be tested. You're going to consistently be tested. It's not going to stop. The key is understanding that you're not going to, the tests aren't going to cease. The tests are going to keep coming. So what you have to get comfortable with understanding that every day it may be a test, maybe multiple. Pass them. Pass them. Pass them. And don't put too much pressure on yourself to pass them, because you already have it in your heart. You wouldn't be led to this video if you didn't already have it in your heart. That's why you were led here, because you can pass these tests easily. You just tired of passing them. You just tired of being tested. You just tired of just looking at it and being like, man, another one. But I'm gonna tell you, going forward, look, just pass them, and you'll do it effortlessly. Some call for more effort than others, but that effort is already given to you by the divine. It's already given to you by the divine. It's already in you. I think what you're, the test and why the question, why am I being tested so much, is because they're trying to understand truly what is the beautiful outcome from this hectic stuff that's going on, this demolishing, evil, maybe even hate, disruptive energies that's coming your way. You can see that clearly, but you can't see the outcome and your beautiful part clearly. And you feel like you've been putting in the work. Keep feeling like that. Keep feeling like you've been putting in the work. Because the more you feel like it, the more it becomes true. And the more it becomes a daily lifestyle. The more it becomes a habit. The more it becomes a daily practice. So keep feeling that way. Now, going on to connecting the dots with why you're tested. You got to understand each test and what time period of life you were in when those tests came. A lot of tests came to me recently when I decided to fully transition out of my life. I cut everything off and said, I'm going to be a new guy. I went through a rebirthing process and a resurrection process. And I suggest anybody that's deep into their old lifestyle that they feel like they can't break, whether they're in their early 20s, mid 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, 40s, mid 40s and 50s, all of that, and up. You got to acknowledge the time periods the tests are coming. And also notice your progression on how you handled each test differently as you got wiser, as you got more clarity, as you got more intuitive about your actions and your accountability of why things happen to you. That's when you understand the test. It's not why am I being tested, it's when will I understand what I'm being tested for? Because a lot of times when you're being tested, you've been getting tested before that. You just didn't acknowledge it because you weren't trying to change. Now that you're trying to change, oh yes, the tests are coming. The tests will be prevalent. And you have to understand in this changing process, there's gonna be tests. But it's to get to where you want to be. You don't want to be where you are now. You don't want to be in the place that you was in a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You want to be a new person. Well, look at it and pass the test. Connect the dots. You gotta look. Okay, so when you really humble yourself and understand that it's not all you, you take the accountability to things that did happen to you that are stressing you out and emotionally, mentally, causing all that type of stress, causing all that type of suffering. When you can diagnose that to where you can take accountability for it, and then you can look for where you can take accountability for the good things in your life. See, a lot of us like to acknowledge all the bad things in our life and all the bad things that's going wrong because it hurts. The pain feels so much more prevalent than the good, the joy, the peace. Because we feel like that's what we're supposed to have. But in all honesty, you got to fight for the joy and the peace just as much as you got to fight away the hatred and the stress and the suffering. So connecting the dots. Look at every test that you have done. You got to get you a notepad. Start writing it down. When you feel tested, write down that test and put a title on it. Page it like, this is what I'm being tested on. And put the test and the name on it. And then go further down, go a few rows down and put how you handled that test. Do you feel like you passed it? Do you feel like you failed? And either way, whether you passed or failed, you have the documentation for when your next test comes. You can look at, you can go I'm trying to say replay, flashback, but you can double back on what the previous one and see where, if you passed, you know how to handle this one. If you failed, you know what not to do to handle this one. It's connecting the dots, and then it starts getting clearer because the tests are trying to prepare you to the future that you're trying to get to. It's trying to prepare you to where you want to be at. You just gotta focus on it. You gotta understand. You gotta take accountability and document these things, because if you just sitting around just in the moment, just like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. Oh, some stuff happened. Okay, some stuff happened. Okay, I got back out of my mode. I was tripping for a little bit. I got involved with my vices a little bit. I went and messed with a little female. I went and messed with a little, for the females that I went to mess with a guy or something like that. They went and did something to relieve themselves from their stress when they slipped up. There's a problem. See, when we slip up, we like to go back to what's comfortable. I talked about comfortability in the last video. I'll do another part 2 on that eventually. But right now, the connecting of the dots. You got to understand that each test comes with an outcome, and the outcome has to be a joyful scenario, has to be a joyful solution, has to be a heartfelt, full accountability, understanding solution. And that's how you do it. You gotta look from the dots. Like there's one point when you can look at one thing and see, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here. And if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have met them. And if that didn't happen, I would have been staying with that other person or staying in that situation for so long. And the crazy thing is when you stay with that, like when you get in those the connecting dots of thinking about staying with those people or staying in those situations, at the time frame when you was having to detach from what caused it to happen, it did not feel good. It felt shitty. It didn't feel good. But you got to the point where now the tester is saying, okay, you didn't cut them off. Now you're dealing with, now let's see what you can do now that you can cut off, now that you're in your next stage. These are the new tests. And you like, man, godly, okay, I thought I was supposed to be beautiful now. I done left everything. Things was getting good. Now that I'm getting knowledge and everything, I'm getting tested again. It's because you called for something higher. And it's from up there and it's in you. That's why this video found you. That's why I'm talking to you, because it's called to you. But you got to be able to connect the dots. Everything that happens in your life is connected. It's all connected and it's working in your favor. The more you think it's not working in your favor, the more backwards you're going to be working. You can take 2 steps forward and 30 steps backwards by just the way you're thinking. So you got to understand, I'm going to say 2 things right here. When you're being tested outside of being connecting the dots. One thing is when you're being tested, I lost my train of thought right there. I'm sorry. I had it in my head. Hold on. There's 2 things. What was I saying right before that? There's 2 things right before you're being tested. Okay, I'm gonna have to go double back on that. But long story short, you have to acknowledge where your accountability is in this and what you want. And understand, oh yeah, don't beat yourself up. That's one of the 2 things like that. You have to find a way to not stress yourself out, and 2, to not stress other people out and letting them know you're stressed. Be silent. When you're going through these tests, when you're going through your transitional periods, be silent. Don't let everybody know. It's not a venting time. If you feel like you got a comfortable person to vent to and they're not judgmental and they're going to be able to propel you and excel your mind frame and how you're feeling, feel free to do that. But it's not a lot of people out there that's like that. So keep it to yourself. A lot of times, when you're in your cocoon stage, when a caterpillar's going to this cocoon, there's not 2 or 3 or 4 people in that cocoon. It's just one person. And then they come out as a butterfly. So you got to understand this. You got to be in your bubble at this time. The fact that you even put out there on social media, that you can express on social media that, why am I being tested so much? Why am I going through all these things? It's inviting other people in on your suffering. And you don't know who is happy about you suffering. You're focused on people just getting it out there and hoping for some love. Which you got some love. You did get some love. But it's some haters out there. It's some people that's looking for your downfall. It's like, yes. It's like, yes. Just imagine if you was feeling like that. You was feeling like, why am I testing so much? You kept it inside and just kept passing those tests. It wouldn't have been further. But that's the divine timing of things. Because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have this video to express to y'all on connecting the dots and passing these tests. So first thing, you know what I'm saying, I always like to put points into it, and I should go more into it. But first thing, the tests are not, with why you've been tested so much, the tests are not going to stop. Truthfully be told, you've been being tested all your life. You're just now being conscious to the test now because you're trying to change and be a better person. Before, you were unconscious. You were just going through life, and whatever happened, happened. What was that? YOLO, you only live once. Everybody has that time period in their teens, their early 20s, mid 20s. You know, I've been there. I've done some of everything. I done seen everything in this world except Jesus, and I believe in him. So everything of that nature. And I believe in all. I'm non-judgmental. I don't transcribe to any religion. I believe in all spiritualities. I believe in whatever. As long as you are believing in a peace, unity, love, progression, anything of that factor, and moving with love and kindness, hey, I can rock with you. Like, believe in what you believe in, because it took me a long time to get here. A long time. So I'll be patient with you, and you can be patient with me. I'm just now getting started with my community. Like I said, we're building a community up, and we're gonna make this. So make sure y'all subscribe, like. I'm gonna be here consistently. I'm gonna be here for you. I love you, And if y'all have anything that you want me to speak on, feel free to comment or add me on social media, send me a message, anything of that nature, even email, and I'll be happy to do that. And just understand that. But tests, like, just know that they're not gonna stop. So just be ready to get used to it until you graduate and understand that you are the test and that they're gonna become normal. It's an everyday thing. Just get used to it and find joy in it and find joy in passing them. 2, connect the dots. Every test, everything that happens in your life previously led you to this moment. All your decisions, all your thoughts, all your actions, they all got you to this moment in life right now. Now, going further, keep that in mind. All your thoughts, all your actions, all your decisions is going to be the building blocks of you going forward. So understand that. You got to acknowledge the things that happened in the past that got you to the point where you are, because you're looking at things going bad, but you're actually in a great position now. You're actually in a magnificent position now. So acknowledge the dots that got you in the magnificent position and stop focusing on the suffering of the test of your new position, because you're in your cocoon. It's not comfortable in there. It's tight. It's hard to breathe. You can only move so much, but your wings are growing, baby. Your wings are growing, my brother. Your wings are growing, sister. So keep on going with that. 3, trust yourself and humble yourself. Take accountability and believe in something. Believe in something. Hold on to something. And just keep passing. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love y'all, man. I'm going to be back with another test. Oh, I said test. I'm all off subject. I'm going to be back with another video here soon on another subject matter. I think I'm about doing a part 2 on finding your community, or I might do a part 2 on the test. But I just want to shed some light, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that hit me hard, and I understand that, like, that can be confusing, especially when you're transitioning to your new life. But keep going, baby. You got it. I believe in you. I know you can do it. That's why you here. I know you can do it. You got led to this video because you needed that extra thing to be like, okay, hold on. I am confused, but I haven't been connecting the dots. I did think the test was gonna stop. Nah. Let me go ahead and just unblur that lens for you. But I love you. Keep moving, keep going forward. Replay this video and take the little nuggets you can. Write down what you need to write down so you can propel yourself to go forward. Document this story. Document what's going on. You're in a progressive state right now. You're going forward. You're getting ready for new love. You're getting ready for new opportunities. You're getting ready for new abundance. Be ready for it. Expect it, accept it, and love yourself while you're doing it in the process. And love everybody who loves you. Love everybody. Just love everybody. Because there's no reason to hate anyway. I love you. Stay cool. Stay smooth. Peace, unity, love, and progression. Richie Believe. Outie. Yay.